Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our City Council meeting, second council meeting of the month. We're going to go ahead and get started with our opening prayer to be led by Councilman Charlie Bibb. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Officer Ashley Lowry of the Warner Robins Police Department. If everyone would please stand as Councilman Bibb starts us off in prayer.
Let us pray. Oh, Heavenly Father, we come to you and just want to tell you how much we love you. We thank you for loving us first. We thank you that you are actively involved in each one of our lives and our family, and especially our community. God, we ask that you lead, guide, and direct everything that we do. May we bring glory and honor to you. I ask that you bless everybody here and everybody that's not present with us today. Lord, we love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Do we need? All right, so we're going to take a picture with, we always do a picture with the person who does the opening prayer, but since it's one of us, we'll skip that one. And the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll do a picture, but I noticed we had two officers leading us off in the pledge. So if you could please let me know the one we left off so we could properly acknowledge you. All right, we also had Officer John Moreau. Third day on the job, so he's one of our new police officers. So welcome to the team. All right, I now officially call today's meeting to order. We will first start with an adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt the agenda as written.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Lawrenson, seconded by Councilman Bibb. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries. Now we're moving on to proclamations, awards, and presentations. And we have two on the agenda today. We have a proclamation, and then we also have our employee awards, our employee service awards. So I'll go over to read the proclamation, and individuals that are here to accept the proclamation, we ask that you please come forward while I read the proclamation to you, then we'll take a photo after. All right, so we are doing a proclamation for an individual in our community who has truly done something notable. And her name is Sonia J. Proffert, Esquire. Miss Sonia Proffert if you would please come forward so I can read this proclamation to you. If you have others who you would like to stand with you, they also can do it. And please don't forget the bling, because it's important to wear that, so I can tell everybody why you are up here today. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so we are here for a proclamation for Sonia J. Prophet Day in the city of Warner Robins, dated June the 16th, 2025. And here it goes. Whereas the city of Warner Robins takes immense pride in recognizing and celebrating the exceptional athletic achievements of one of its esteemed residents, Sonia J. Prophet, GD, Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Georgia. And whereas Sonia J. Prophet has exemplified unparalleled dedication, resilience, and excellence in the sport of track and field, particularly in the World-Class Masters Sprinters Championship meet. And whereas on March 30th, 2025, this is why we're doing this, Sonia J. Prophet achieved the remarkable feat of winning the gold medal in her age group at the World-Class Master Sprinters Championship meet, a testament to her unwavering commitment and athletic prowess. And whereas this outstanding accomplishment not only brings pride and recognition to the city of Warner Robins, but also serves as an inspiration to our community, showcasing the power of perseverance and dedication in achieving excellence. And whereas Sonia J. Prophet's achievements extend beyond her athletic endeavors, as she continues to serve the public with distinction in her role as an assistant U.S. attorney, embodying the values of integrity, service, and commitment to justice. And whereas the city of Warner Robins recognizes the importance of honoring individuals who contribute to the betterment of our community and serve as role models for future generations. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed by myself, along with members of council and the citizens of Warner Robins, Georgia, I do hereby proclaim the day of June 16th, 2025, as Sonia J. Prophet Day in honor of her outstanding achievement at the 2025 Track and Field World-Class Masters Championship meet. So join me in congratulating our gold champion, and this is a world-class championship, and that is why we thought fit to honor her in this manner. She has brought our area to an even higher platform, with her being the gold champion of her division for her age group. So thank you for what you have done, your dedication in the courtroom and on the track, and bringing this great honor home so that we can properly congratulate you for your amazing achievement. I don't know if you have any words that you'd like to share. If you, okay, come on over, and then after you finish, then I will present the proclamation to you, and we'll take some photos.
Brevity is the soul of wit, and I will be a good pastor, as I see one of my former pastors here, and I won't speak too long. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored and humbled by this. My children know that this is just what I do. After trekking around with my baseball pals, two of which I see up there, for many years following our children, it was, okay, my God, what am I going to do with my time? They're grown now. And so I got back in the track and field, and it's been nothing but a blessing and an honor to represent not only this community, of course, but the state of Georgia and the United States. I'm overwhelmed by the support from local businesses. Dr. Malone here at Middle Georgia Orthopedics got me rolling again when I had a touch of tendonitis in my shoulder and in my ankle, and various businesses have done so much for me. My son, of course, follows me around basically everywhere I go, and he films everything with his business, Wartown Creation. So I am very, very honored and extremely humbled by all the attention. So thank you again, Mayor
Patrick, for everything you're doing in the community, and especially today, recognizing my day. Wow, who knew?
Everybody, check your cars. Got a car going off. I can hear it out in the parking lot. There's a car alarm going off. I'm just saying, it should be deep in your pocket.
And then we have two. Okay, we're going to continue on with our service awards. So we have two employees that we're recognizing for service this evening. The first is Miss Sierra Vance. She's an animal control officer with our police department with 10 years of service. All right, and our second recognition this evening is Mr. Brian Wise. He's our shelter supervisor with the City Administrator's Office with 10 years of service.
Congratulations, Brian. I thought you'd been here more than 10 years. You know so much. But thank you for your 10 years of service to the city of Warner Robins. You do so much, especially when dealing with our unhoused neighbors. Everyone knows you for that. This is our outreach person for our Haven Hope House.
All right, so now that we've completed the proclamations, awards, and presentations, we're moving on to the formal public comments section of our agenda. So if anyone is here who has a comment, question, concern, or just something to say about one of the numbered agenda items only, that's going to be an item 1 through 10. That's when you have an opportunity to approach the podium. You'll have 3 minutes on the clock. Please state your name and address for the record. If you have any comments for anything outside of these 10 items, you'll have another opportunity once we conclude item number 10 to go to the podium and make your voices known. So at this time, the podium is now open for anyone who'd like to make a comment about one of the numbered agenda items only. Going once, going twice. The door is now closed. On to item number 2, which is the consent agenda to be discussed by Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented with items A through G, including important items in there such as the meeting minutes from last meeting. I'm sure we all read those, right? But most importantly, just remember for all employees, item D, the BJ's Wholesale Club for a Cause program promotion agreement. And then purchasing items 1 through 13. And I ask for a motion to approve that consent agenda.
I second.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, including purchasing items 1 through 8, seconded by Councilman Curtis. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 3 is a motion for rezoning petition to be discussed by Councilman Bibb.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. I make a motion to approve the rezoning request from A. Bush for properties together totaling 1.015 acres located at 211 and 213 South 2nd Street from R3 to C3.
I second.
Motion by Councilman Bibb, seconded by Councilman Lawrenson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 4 is a rezoning petition to be discussed by Councilman Curtis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I motion to approve the rezoning request from A. Bush for properties together totaling .631 acres located at 202, 204, 206, 208, and 210 2nd South Street, 204 2nd South Street from South 2nd Street from C2 to C3, 202, 206, 208, and 210 South 2nd Street from R3 to C3.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Curtis, seconded by Councilman Lashley. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 5 is an ordinance for fiscal year 2026 budget, first reading, to be conducted by Councilman Lawrenson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Mayor and Council of the City of Warner Robins have prepared and submitted the City Council line item budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, ending June 30th, 2026. And whereas the Mayor and Council have studied and revised the proposed budget and is in the best interest of the city that the budget be adopted. Be it ordained by the Mayor and Council of the City of Warner Robins that the annual budget for general government for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025, ending June 30th, 2026, attached hereto may be part thereof for the funds and the amounts, and the referendum as follows are hereby adopted and approved, and the total amount of this year's expenditures and transfers out is $179,863,519, and this is the first reading.
Thank you. First reading is complete. Moving on to item number 6, which is an ordinance for budget transfer to be discussed by Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I make a motion to approve the ordinance of the governing body of the City of Warner Robins that $250,000 be transferred from the ARPA Special Reserve Fund, unobligated fund balance, and placed into the expenditure account number 22-000-54101-INT-000, and I would like to waive that second reading, and the full ordinance can be found online or in the packet.
I second.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, seconded by Councilman Curtis. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 7 is a motion for a change order to be discussed by Councilman Bibb.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion to approve Pro Construction Change Order Number 7 for the labor and materials needed to install a 7-inch kitchen exhaust hood not to exceed $40,808.40.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Bibb, seconded by Councilman Lashley. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 8 is item number 9. I am on 8. Item number 8, an ordinance for a budget transfer to be discussed by Councilman Curtis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I motion to approve an ordinance of the governing body of the City of Warner Robins that $18,720 be transferred from general fund balance reserve for capital projects established for neighborhood improvement projects on August the 2nd, 2021 via ordinance number 25-21 to the streetlight budget for the purpose of funding lighting improvements on North Houston Road. Said funds shall be taken from the fund balance reserve account 10-33015 and placed into the operation expenditure account 10.004-04260.00.53222. And I would like to waive the second reading.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Curtis, waiving the second reading, seconded by Councilman Lashley. Any discussion? This ordinance will be adding and updating the street lights on North Houston Road, going from Watson Boulevard to Dunbar Road. These are improvements that the community has been inquiring about. They've been asking for them. We have been listening, and this money is going for a great cause, which is lighting up that street to make sure that the community is safe. Any further discussion?
I want to say thank you.
Well, that would be my thank you upon calling for the vote. So, all those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. All right, item number 9 is an ordinance for a classification plan update to be discussed by Councilman Lawrenson.
Thank you, Mayor. There's a lot on here, and I'm going to condense it as much as I possibly can, so please bear with me. I want to motion to approve an ordinance of the governing body of the City of Warner Robins City Classification Plan as amended as follows. Most of this is going to be putting all of these people in positions under a new department, Parks, Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Services. We want to reactivate the position of Ground Maintenance Tech to Parks and Rec Cultural Services Department, deactivate position of Ground Maintenance Technician, authorize strength of 1 Public Works Stormwater, and move incumbent employee to the position of Ground Maintenance Tech, Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Services. Reactivate the position of Ground Maintenance Worker 1, Job Class 10, authorized strength of 3, Parks and Rec and Cultural Services. Decrease the authorized strength of Ground Maintenance Worker 1 to Public Works Stormwater Department by 6 to authorize strength of 3, and move an incumbent employee Trenton Jackson and Shamar Spears to the position of Ground Maintenance Job Class 10, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. Reactivate the position of Ground Maintenance Worker 2, Job Class 11, authorized strength of 1, Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services. Move incumbent employee Stuart Sabat to the position of Ground Maintenance Worker 2, authorized strength of 1, Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services Department. Reactivate the position of Ground Maintenance Worker 3, Job Class 12, authorized strength of 2, Parks and Rec, Cultural Services Department. Almost done. Move incumbent employee Jason Grube and Charles Reeves to the position of Ground Maintenance 3, to Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services Department. Reactivate the position of Ground Maintenance Crew Leader, authorized strength of 2, Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services Department. Decrease the authorized strength of Ground Maintenance Crew Leader, Job Class 480, Public Works Stormwater by 2 to authorized strength of 2, and move incumbent employee Anthony Jordan and Corey Land to the position of Ground Maintenance Crew Leader, authorized strength of 2, Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services. Move the position of Ground Maintenance part-time, Job Class 6, authorized strength of 10, and the incumbent employees to the position of Public Works Stormwater Department, moving them to Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services Department. And this is an ordinance, and I would like to waive the second reading if possible.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Lawrenson waiving the second reading, seconded by Councilman Bibb. Any discussion? Those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 10 is a resolution for a meeting rescheduled to be discussed by Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I make a motion to approve the resolution acting pursuant to City Code Section 2-26 to reschedule the regularly scheduled mayor and council meeting of July 7th, 2025 to July 21st, 2025 at 4:30 due to, well, you gave me the script. Be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Warner Robins, acting pursuant to City Code Section 2-26, resolved to reschedule the regularly scheduled mayor and council meeting of July 7th, 2025 to June 30th. Is that right? And we're good? Ron Burgundy. At 5 p.m. Let's see. Is there no second reading on that? There's no second reading. All right. And I move for the motion.
I second.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, seconded by Councilman Curtis. Any discussion? The change that was just read, rescheduling our July 7th meeting to June the 30th, is because we do our summer recess now in the summers, where we reschedule one of our summer meetings to allow more time for council and staff and directors to have some family time during the summer break. So that's what this is for. So we did it last year, we're doing it again this year, and we're going to keep doing it as long as I'm here, because we really do value being able to take some time off to be with our families instead of having to be in our council meeting every other, well, twice a month, which sometimes calculates to every other Monday. So thank you all for being patient with us as we allow time for family time during the summer break and allowing us to have this summer recess. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. And that completes the items on our current agenda. We now will move on to citizen comments. If there is anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment or a concern about something you'd like for council and I to hear, you do have your opportunity to approach the podium. You will have 3 minutes on the clock at the top of that rotunda. Please be sure to state your name and address for the record. Please note that neither council nor I can respond to you, but we are listening to you. But you will have your opportunity to approach the podium, and the door is now open for citizen comments.
Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. I've never spoken in front of this many folks before. Hi, My name is Taya Lockett, and I'm a resident of Warner Robins. I'd like to address the City Council about immigration and ICE. During the first City Hall I ever sat in on, Councilman Bibb said something that really stuck with me. You see stuff going on around town, but you don't really know until it affects you. Councilman Bibb, what you said is more relevant than ever. We have all seen the ICE raids in the news, and we are all affected, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That is why I've come before you today, my elected officials. I urge the City Council to not cooperate with ICE and their raids on our nation's schools, churches, and homes. The America we're living in now is drastically different from the America we were living in 6 months ago, and we need to talk about it. 6 months ago, we did not call our family and neighbors the enemy from within. 6 months ago, due process would have been required before holding a man in Guantanamo Bay. 6 months ago, the U.S. was not deploying the National Guard and Marines against her own citizens. But these things are happening now, and it is not normal. When the raids began, President Trump said he would be going after the worst of the worst. But I ask you, why is ICE looking for the worst of the worst among school children? Why have the raids become so heavily focused on places of work? How was Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia sent to a terrorism confinement center without due process? How was Luis Alberto Castilla Rivera sent to Guantanamo Bay without due process? These men have been exiled to facilities meant for terrorists with no due process. That is not normal. They are not looking for the worst of the worst. The administration shames and blames immigrants to divide us, to normalize the lack of due process. When one of us does not have due process, no one has due process. When we are suspicious of our neighbors, we are weak. When our communities are weakened, we the people suffer. Mayor LaRonda Patrick, we the people are calling on you. Councilman Larry Curtis Jr., we the people are calling on you. Councilman Derek Mack, we the people are calling on you. Councilman Charlie Bibb, we the people are calling on you. Councilman Keith Lauritsen, we the people are calling on you. Councilman Kevin Lashley, we the people are calling on you. Councilman Clifford Holmes, we the people are calling on you. Sheriff Matthew Moulton, we the people are calling on you. While ICE is a federal agency, it is the state government, our city council, our mayor, our sheriff, that decides whether or not our local resources will be used to cooperate with ICE. We ask that you protect our community. We the people also call on Austin Scott, our congressman who is not here at Town Hall today, but perhaps should be. Congressman Scott, I have seen you travel to other major cities, like Atlanta, to address the people there, but not those of us here who elected you in Warner Robins. We call on you to hold a town hall on immigration. How can you represent us when you have not met us? How can we trust you to act in our community's best interests if you do not listen to our interests? We the people would like a word. We want to live in peace. We want to know that our children are safe when we send them to school, that our parents will return from home. Mayor, City Council, Sheriff, Congressman, please protect Warner Robins.
Thank you, Ms. Lockett. Would there be any others?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is James Ridmerchek. I live at 1501 Green Street, Warner Robins, Georgia, 31093. I've come to City Council meetings and sat in the audience. And so I just wanted to make this two topics that I wanted to address. First of all, thank you very much, Sonia Prophet, for your tenacity and your commitment to demonstrate the character that young people can grow up on in your activities in the Olympics. It was a complete surprise for me. Thank you very much for choosing the agenda of the day to have that. And those persons that are involved with supporting Sonia Prophet in the Olympics. Number two, I didn't expect a speech from the individual before me, and it shows that there's not only diversity, but there's also action that takes forward in this state, in the United States. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ermachek. Will there be any others?
Good evening. My name is Corbin Jones, and I stay near Lake Joy Road. I stand before you today with a deeply urgent request to deny Immigration Customs Enforcement, or ICE, jurisdiction wherever possible within our city. The actions of ICE under the directives of the Trump administration have consistently resulted in unprofessional, unjust, and frankly cruel treatment of individuals, many of whom are not only innocent, but also legally in this country. ICE claims that they are targeting illegal immigrants and criminals, but the truth tells a very different story. Let me share 3 cases of how ICE's actions go far beyond those stated goals and how legal immigrants and even U.S. citizens have become victims of this unchecked power. First, Mahmoud Khalil, a legal immigrant and student activist at Columbia University. Mahmoud was not detained for any crime, but because he protested the war in Gaza. His political speech protected under the First Amendment made him a target. ICE used its authority not to protect the country, but to silence dissent. Mahmoud had legal status and posed no threat, but ICE came for him anyway. Second, Maycole Bogoyo Duarte, an 18-year-old high school senior in Michigan, is now facing detention immediately after graduation. Maycole is a good student, active in his community and preparing for his future. He has done everything that he can right. He is not undocumented or a criminal, and yet ICE still decided to treat him as one. Lastly, Ximena Arias Cristobal, a 19-year-old woman detained after a minor traffic violation right here in Georgia. She had no criminal record and posed no danger to anyone, yet ICE used this routine stop as an excuse to detain her based solely on assumptions about her background. This wasn't a mistake. It's part of a larger pattern in which innocent people, including those with legal status, are swept up by a system that no longer bothers to distinguish between undocumented, documented, or natural-born citizens. These are not isolated stories. They reflect a systemic shift in ICE's behavior from enforcing immigration law to abusing it. This isn't just a moral failure, it's a constitutional one. The Constitution guarantees the right to due process, the right to be free from unlawful searches and seizures, and the right to speak freely without fear of government retaliation. But ICE routinely violates these rights. Its agents have misrepresented themselves to gain entry into homes, conducted arrests without warrants or explanations, and inflicted fear and trauma in communities like ours. If we permit ICE jurisdiction in Warner Robins, we are not just condoning denial of constitutional rights, we are facilitating them. Constitutional rights don't just affect citizens, it affects immigrants and all people in the United States. It affects us right here in Warner Robins as well. So I'll leave the council with one question. Will we be complicit in a system that punishes people for existing while brown, foreign, or outspoken, or will we take a stand for our neighbors, for our Constitution, and for the dignity of everybody that calls the U.S. home? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Will there be any others?
Councilman, Mayor Patrick. My name is Jesse Ray. I've been living in Warner Robins since about 2019, November, I think. So I've been here for a while. I have a friend who's a Venezuelan asylum seeker, and he and I were speaking, and he told me something that really struck me. He said, Latinos don't feel welcome here. And it really shocked me, and I mean, don't feel free here. And it really shocked me and embarrassed me. In the international city here, in the land of the free and the home of the brave, he's afraid that if he makes one mistake while driving, like not using a turn signal, he'll be locked up and sent away to an El Salvadorian prison and held indefinitely, never seeing a judge along the way. He's not wrong. This has been happening under this administration. I'm not asking you to obstruct ICE. I'm asking you to not proactively assist them in their unlawful activities. Make sure these people see a judge to plead their case before turning them over. The Constitution demands to everyone in this country a right to due process. American history is filled with these oxymorons, antithetical to true freedom. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is how the Declaration of Independence defines freedom. slavery, the Trail of Tears, which began here in Georgia, Jim Crow, Japanese internment camps. The list goes on and on of people who didn't get to experience freedom. We have made great strides, though, but the work is not done yet. So I'll leave you with some lyrics from the Black Eyed Peas and Justin Timberlake that I feel are prescient to today's times. Whatever happened to the values of humanity? Whatever happened to fairness and equality? Instead of spreading love, we're spreading animosity. Lack of understanding leading us away from unity. That's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling under. That's the reason why sometimes I'm feeling down. No reason why sometimes I'm feeling under. Got to keep my faith alive till love is found. Now ask yourself, where is the love? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Will there be any others?
Good afternoon. My name is Jelena Lee, 108 Thomas Boulevard, Warner Robins, Georgia, 31093. I am a government engineer, and I have been a Warner Robins citizen since I was 3 days old. I've come to address the City Council on immigration and ICE. Leviticus 19:33 and 34 reads, "If a stranger dwells with you in your land, you shall not mistreat him. The stranger who dwells among you shall be to you as one born among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." City Council, I've come before you today to ask that we love ourselves and our land as we love everyone else, that we do not use Warner Robins manpower and resources to aid in the federal government's ICE raids. I was fortunate to be born in America, but this is only so because my grandmother came through Ellis Island in 1951 as a refugee following the events of World War II. As born citizens, there is so much that we can take for granted. Most of us have never had to make the choice to flee our homes in search of a better life, but would we not? To protect our children, our families, our loved ones, ourselves, would we not all do the same? This is why I'm not afraid of immigrants. My family did what was necessary to protect their loved ones, to give their children and grandchildren a better life. Would we not all immigrate, documents or otherwise, if it meant protecting the ones we love most? Ergo, our response must be one of empathy, not to demonize the stranger in a strange land, but to show compassion. But that is not what we see from ICE and the federal government. We see a federal administration abusing its powers and scapegoating integral community members. But for what? The president has called immigrants animals and inhuman. ICE is not going after criminals. They set traps to detain undocumented persons at their legalization hearings. They have attended high school graduations in hopes of deporting our graduates' loved ones. They accost people on the street in plain clothes and do not identify themselves. Mercer University, my alma mater, is held to hold special meetings about how to protect our fellow classmates in case ICE raids appear on campus. They have proved that they do not have the aptitude or care to respect the Constitution and the rule of law. To quote Emma Lazarus's words etched into the side of Lady Liberty, the first my grandmother read as she entered a new homeland. "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send those, the homeless, tempest lost to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." Our ancestors were those huddled masses, and we are all yearning to breathe free. I stand before you today to ask that you let us all breathe free, to not follow the example of the federal government, and to respect families regardless of where they come from. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. Will there be any others?
Hi, I'm Karen Rodriguez. I live at 207 Markwood Drive. I have to disagree with what the previous people were talking about immigrants. Only because my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, on both sides of my family came here legally. They did all the documentation that they were required to do at the time. And that's all that this is about. Yes, you can come here as an immigrant, because my family is proof. But we want it done legally, like my family did. And if my family can do it, then I expect everybody else to do it exactly the same way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Would there be any others? Going once.
Howdy. Sorry, I am a very anxious person, so forgive me if I stumble a little myself. My name's Jacob Strader, and I am not from here. I am from Atlanta, but I was born and raised in McDonough, so I'm familiar with the environment and the people. And I agree, to an extent, that if you break the law, you should be punished. But there is nuance everywhere. There are so many things that have been legal in this country that we realized way later that that was not okay. And in the past 50 or so years, yes, people have tried coming here legally. But this country was founded on us coming here illegally. We sailed the seas and set up shop, set up camp, did what we wanted, and who cared about the Native Americans? We'll just shove them off to the side, put them in camps, put them in reservations. And we've seen that kind of behavior all across the world, from all types of authoritarian people who think that they can push others down, keep them under this oppressive system, and because they're not affected, who cares? Now, am I denying that there are illegal immigrants who have committed heinous crimes and have done terrible things? Absolutely not. But there's native-born Americans who have done the same thing, more so. And of course, as an Atlantan, I understand that my word does not hold much here, and I understand that the powers of this council here is limited. But the point is that we should only submit ourselves to ICE if they intend to treat these people with dignity and respect, not as animals or demons, because that's not what they are. Many of these people are running from horrible lives and horrible places, and they come here because they were promised that this is the land of the free and the brave. But then they get to the checkpoint wanting a home, and they're told, sorry, come back in 5 years, 10 years, when your application's complete. The system is broken, and rather than judge the system, we're sitting here judging the people. It's not fair to them, and it's certainly not fair to their children and their family members. Again, I understand I'm not from here, but I implore the council and everyone here to understand that we're not saying crime is okay. We're not saying, go break the law, who cares? We're saying that these are people, and they may have not done it the right way, but does that mean we should ruin their entire lives and the lives of their children? Should you go to jail for life for getting a turn signal? Should you lose your home because you accidentally ran a red light? All we ask is for empathy and for understanding. And even if you have to uphold the law, and even if you have to follow with ICE, take a stand and acknowledge that what they're doing right now is wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Strater. Will there be any others? Going once? Going twice? The door is now closed. All right, and now it's time for council comments. We will be starting with Councilman Bibb. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. We got a lot accomplished today, and we're thankful for that. A lot of great things that are happening in our city, and we're so grateful for that. So I noticed the council meeting just took a turn, so we're just going to go ahead and address it so you know where I stand, and there's no, I heard where you stand, you get to know where I stand. My mom is British. She came to America when I was 4 years old. She went through the National Immigration Service in order to become an American citizen. She took an oath to this country. She took an oath to America, to the country of the land and the brave and the free and the liberty that people seek. And whether we realize it or not, we are a rule in a country that is ruled by law. You live in Warner Robins, we have all kind of ordinances and laws that we have to abide. We don't get a bypass for that. You don't go around law, because if you could go around law, there's no sense of having law. What's the sense of having any law? Then we live in a lawless country. And unfortunately, America has laws in order to enter its country, and not to come in illegally, and to charge this country like you're given a right to what this country has. You can get all into the words and the weeds of taking care of people. We have veterans that are on our street trying to survive, and homeless of our own people trying to survive. And our economy is taking a boom and a bang trying to provide for our own people, let alone letting countries just pour into our country. There's countries all over this world that have borders. There's countries that protect their borders, and they have them for a reason. But we are a rule of law, and that's how we come in. We welcome immigrants, and immigrants are welcome. My mom was welcome, and I thank God for that. I do. I thank God that she took and raised her right hand and became a citizen of the United States of America. And as she did that, she received the rights of the Constitution. But she did not have the rights of the Constitution until she took that oath. People that come into this country illegally and break the law are not given constitutional rights because they are not citizens of America. As bad as that sounds, and as much as you want to shake your head, as bad as that sounds, that is just a fact. That is a fact. You may not like the way certain things are going on, and as they say, mistakes are always made. We are imperfect people, and we will make mistakes along the way. And there will be mistakes made. And hopefully they'll make those mistakes right. And they'll call it as they see it. But we are a country of law. You cannot just open up the borders and let everybody from every country just flood into America. We would not survive that, and that is a fact. So I am not in a position, and if I'm ever put in a position to support the federal government, we live under a hierarchy, and that is the federal government. And then we have a state government, and then you have local governments. And if we buck that, then we are breaking the law. We are breaking the law as a city. And so where does it stop? Where does it stop when you say, I can't abide by that or not go along with that? Who am I to say that? Yeah, we are a rule of law, and it hurts, and our nation is going through a hurt right now, and we're trying to navigate some things, but I'm just telling you something had to be done. Something had to be done to our border, and I thank God that it is. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Lawrenson.
Thank you, Mayor. Boy, it was exciting tonight to see Ms. Prophet get that award and be recognized as one of our great citizens. And I just want y'all to know that she's been practicing what she preaches for a long time. She's very healthy, very active. And when we were working together with young kids, and she was one of the most exciting not just coaches, but cheerleaders. And I remember she used to play all the walk-up music for the boys and girls. And she is just a wonderful, wonderful human being. And I'm so thankful that we recognized her tonight when I saw her name on the agenda. Anyway, about the other things that we've been talking about tonight, you know, you can have compassion and still enforce the law. And so I know that just reflecting back as my time, I was 15 years an elementary school principal. So these issues came up quite a bit. I can remember back in 2010 where ICE was making a lot of raids in Warner Robins to several locations. And there were a lot of children at my school who were impacted by it, and they were terrified, and it broke my heart, and I really struggled with it. And this went on for several years. All I'm asking is that you be consistent. If you're concerned about it now, be concerned about it when it might happen in the future. I myself, in education, we didn't ask a lot of questions. We treated children with dignity. We gave them an education. We did not bring any of these other things into it. We just treated them with love and respect and kindness. And I believe that's what we should do to all people. And because I feel one way about it, I can't say that I'm for breaking the law to prevent the federal government from doing their job. I just can't support that. But I do support people, and I think we should support our neighbors. And even if they don't have constitutional rights, people can still be your neighbors. So we do have to treat people with respect and dignity, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But I just see a lot of people now that are saying, hey, we need to do this. I don't remember anything being said in 2010, 2011. So if we're going to be concerned about it, let's always be concerned about it. And I think we should. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to say congratulations to our two employee promotion or awards tonight. ACO Marsh, correct? And Brian, of course, always a good job. I like this time of year. We get to go through a lot of things pretty quickly usually. But one thing that I can tell you that I'm really excited about, I'm not going to give you any details, is the job that is going on in our parks, recreation parks and cultural services. I always want to say Parks and Rec because I was a huge fan of the show. I'm always going to be a huge fan of the show. So Nope over here is doing a good job. No, I'm just kidding. No. I am very excited for the vision that's out there and the things that are in his head for what he wants to do. I'm not going to give any secrets away because they're all going to be beautiful secrets. They're just wonderful. Other than that, it is coming up on Independence Day, which we have a great celebration. And as per usual, I'm going to be out of town to miss it, but I hate it that I'm going to miss this one because this one's really exciting. We've got some great bands that are going to be there, some great music, great entertainment. And for the ones that I have been in town to be fortunate enough to be at, it is a great time. Other than that, I know it's big travel time for everybody, so be safe. Lots of SPF. Don't get burnt. It doesn't feel too good, I can tell you. I got a little crispy on the shoulders this weekend, but everybody be safe and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Curtis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My prayers go out to Annie Calhoun family. She passed away 90 years old. She was truly a pillar of her community. Sleep well, Auntie. I just want to say happy Father's Day to everyone. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. It is truly a blessing from God to be a father. Lashley said it, summertime is right around the corner. So stay safe, hydrate. Miss Prophet, congratulations on your day. I'm pretty sure I know two young ladies that would probably like to recruit you for their flag football team coming up real soon. But congratulations again on your day. Miss Lockett, Miss Jones, Mr. Jones, And Ms. Lee, I am very proud of you. Keep up the good work. Don't stop. Mr. May, Mr. Strayer, thank you for your words. But I will say this. My fellow councilman, he said something that was very true. We are a country of laws, a state or city of laws. But as Mr. Strayer said, at one point in time, those laws, were laws that actually kept people that look like me at bay. That people that look like me had to pay to go vote. So what I would say to you all, hold the lawmakers accountable. Remember that. Hold them accountable. Yes, we have to abide by the laws, but remember the ones that are making the laws. And make sure when it comes time to vote that you hold them accountable and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. All right, and I appreciate everyone's comments today for voicing your concerns and your thoughts, making them known, utilizing your freedom of speech and whatever it is that brings passion to your life and your purpose and your why. For me, my why is serving the community in the capacity for which I have been granted by you, the voters. So I appreciate you entrusting me to do this job, and I have enjoyed doing this job. Not everything is easy. There'll be times when you have a community, which for me, community is the citizens of Warner Robins, who may be at odds on certain issues, and that's fine. That happens, part of life, no matter what country you live in. But it's important that we respect each other and we still act as a family that we are, even if we do not see things in the same way. When it comes to one thing we can do to show unity and unite with each other for a positive thing, that would be an event that we hold every single year, which is the Independence Day celebration. At a time when our country may be going through some tough obstacles, we can find a reason to celebrate whatever it is you like to celebrate for that holiday. And that'll be on June the 28th at the MAC, which is the McConnell Talbert Stadium. June the 28th, we will have our Independence Day celebration. There's something that unites everybody no matter what, and that is music. So if you like music, come out to the Independence Day celebration, June the 28th, starting at, gates open at 6 p.m. Come out, let's forget all the troubles going on, and let's be there together for something fun. Also, we are having, there is a Juneteenth celebration coming up on Thursday, June the 19th, at the North Houston Sports Complex. This is an event that is held by a private organization, but the City of Warner Robins sponsors a place for it. We sponsor the location. So if you are available on that day, which is still a national holiday, we do have the Juneteenth celebration going on at the North Houston Sports Complex this Thursday. I believe it starts at 3 p.m. inside of the sports complex. Congratulations again to our world champion, attorney Sonia Profit. Congratulations on your accomplishment, and thank you for the hard work you do. You're an attorney, you're a track and field star, gold medalist, you're a mother. I don't think there's any stopping you, and I'm sure your opponents felt the same way as you took home the gold medal. So thank you for that. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting adjourned. You all enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you at the Independence Day celebration and also at our final meeting for the month, which is June the 30th. We will see you there. You all take care.